Hi guys, it's Jonathan Chown here with JChownGolf at Croydon Park Golf Club in Essex, and today we're going to get into this drill that we see a lot of kind of tour players do, and a lot of them that have always made big changes in their golf swing as well. I think the first one who did it properly was Rickie Fowler, did a version of this drill, and most recently as well, Rickie Fowler in the past 5 or so years has implemented this drill, make a massive difference. And I believe this drill is going to make a huge difference to most of you guys out there because it sorts out the club face in the takeaway. Really, really cool one to be able to hit nice shots and make sure your club face is nice and square in the takeaway every single time. So before we get into that video, guys, please make sure you like the video. It helps my channel out an absolute ton, and make sure you hit that subscribe button, because if you want nice, easy to understand golf instruction, cool drills, really things that might be slightly complicated but broken down quite easy to where you understand them, JChownGolf's your place to be. Hit that subscribe button, you won't be disappointed. So what we're going to get into is we're going to get into the first little thing here, which is the drill. We're going to get into the drill straight away. So what this drill is, you'll see guys, I think most commonly Rickie Fowler. If it's Rickie Fowler is the one you remember more, sure. So I'm going to say Rickie Fowler here because he's more my era. So what they will be doing, you'll see Rickie Fowler, as soon as he started working with Butch, he started implementing this little move into his takeaway, because he had a very poor movement in the takeaway where he would really drag that club inside, that club head will get really outside his hands. He would have to make a lot of compensations from there. This could even be for someone doing the opposite as well. So he would get into that first position there where that shaft's parallel to the ground. And what he would do there, he would look and he would say, all right, where's my club face? Is my club face level with my hands? Is it in the same line as my hands? Yep. Is my club face square? As in, is it matching my back angle? Are the grooves pointing slightly down towards the ground? Yep. And what you'll do, you'll get into that, give it a little check, going yep, and then he'll go and swing from there. And that was the drill he did religiously, and it completely changed his golf swing for the better. But why did it change his golf swing for the better? Because it really took care of the most important thing in the golf swing, and that is ultimately the club face. Because if the club face, one, isn't going where we want to at impact, we're not going to hit the ball on line, and two, our body senses where that club face is in space. If it's coming down too close, your body will compensate for it. It will start to move to manage it. If it comes down too open, again, your body will start to move and it will start to compensate for that movement. So if we can get our club face nice and square from the start, we'll have a much better chance to perform a good golf swing. I do this for my own golf swing from time to time, because like everyone, their club face can go off at the takeaway. For me, I'll get it a little drag inside and I would actually shut the club face too much. So I'll be doing it to calm down the strong face like Rickie. But if you're someone who really gets an open club face here and you're really wanting to get that movement in the takeaway better, that's something you could focus on as well. You could focus on getting same thing as Rickie Fowler. We're getting to the club face or the club shaft parallel to the ground there, and we're making sure, right, those grooves need to point slightly down and away from us. We could even think of the logo on our glove pointing slightly down. So we're going to get it to that position, have a little check, swing up and go. And at the start, it does, that one was slightly thin, because these drills are actually quite challenging when you come to it. Rickie Fowler, when he started doing this drill, I think it was just after one of the British Opens, and he was on the range and he asked Butch Harmon to look at his golf swing. And when Butch Harmon looked at his golf swing, he told him a little drill to do, and that was for his takeaway move, because Butch saw that takeaway move was affecting the rest of his golf swing. That's what takeaway really does. And he got him to do this drill, and he kept on topping it when he did that drill over and over again. And I remember it was in an interview with Butch, I think it was on Sky Sports, he said that Rickie said to him, are you trying to make me look like an idiot in front of all these people? Because obviously this was on the driving range at the Open, there's tons of people, and there you go, one of the best players in the world doing a drill, and he's topping the ball over and over and over again. So guys, you can see, even if you struggle with this drill when you're starting off with, it's fine, keep on going with it. So we really want to make sure we're getting into this nice position here. Club shaft is nice and parallel to the ground. Grooves are slightly pointing down and away from us. Glove logo is pointing down there. We're just swinging up and through. So we can see here, guys, any little takeaway kind of problem we have, we can relate it to this drill, and we can apply this drill and it'd be very, very beneficial for us. I've got really any problem someone has in the takeaway, we can move and get them into doing this drill, or get yourself into doing this drill and you're going to benefit straight away for it. This is why it's the brilliant drill it is, and this is why it's a classic drill. Even with Nick Faldo, when he was making his change, albeit he was doing it in a way that wouldn't really be taught too much of hinging the wrist straight away and opening up the club face. I wouldn't advocate that, because that will really cause some problems in the swing. But just the notion of setting it and then going is a really good thing. Even if I'm just setting it, we know the club face benefits for it, but it's going to really help my sequencing in the golf swing, because a lot of golfers out there, quite a lot of the time, will either have too much of an army movement from the takeaway, or they'll have too much of a body movement in the takeaway as well, which can both hurt sequencing. When you're doing this, you're having that really unison of both of them moving together to get into that set position, and then we go from there and hit the shot, and it will really get your sequencing quite nice as well. And I really like this drill for you guys out there of before you're warming up, when you're warming up for your round, you're going hitting these shots and you're going and getting in these set positions here. So you're getting here and you're looking and you're thinking, yep, that's good, and you're making sure you're getting that feel and relating that feel, because that feel you're doing in that drill is what you want to apply to the golf ball, because that will get your club face nice and square. If we can go out before our round and make sure our club face is square, we're going to have a much better chance to have a good consistent round. So I'd really encourage you guys to continue to really, before your round, do this drill, make sure it's set in a good spot and go and hit the shot there. That's going to be a very, very beneficial drill for you to do throughout most of your golfing life, to be perfectly honest, because it's going to have good for your club face, it's going to be good for your sequencing, and I would always recommend, once you do quite a few of them, be setting it and going. So I'm really getting just a sharp parallel to the ground. I'm not over hinging my wrists or anything. I'm just getting sharp parallel to the ground, making sure my club face is good, then going up, pausing and going. So once we do quite a lot of those drills, then you'll see exactly what you see Rickie do when he's over the shot, when he's going and playing. He'll be doing this little move where he'll be rehearsing that movement, and he'll be just going there back and forth and going, and then he'll hit his shot. So getting it into a little routine there. That's another great way that we can implement this drill into your golf swing as well. So we can even put it into your golf swing on the golf course. This is why it's so good as well. My favorite drill for takeaway move, because it's very rare we can do a drill that we can somewhat take onto the golf course at the same time, albeit we're not going to hit the ball, even though we could. We're not going to be hitting the ball on the golf course doing the drill, but we can do it in between shots by just making sure we're still getting that move. That's why this is an absolute winner, doing this before you go play, making sure your club face is in a good place, and then in between your shots, or just before you take that club back, do a little few waggles like you'll see Rickie do, or you'll see probably 90% of tour players do, because then that'll give you the good feel for the club face. And then straight away, even though I towed that one a little bit, straight away you'll be hitting that golf ball a hell of a lot better. So really make sure, if you've got a takeaway problem in your swing, guys, make sure you're really practicing like Rickie, and you're doing what Rickie does before shots as well, because that will make a huge difference to your golf swing over time, and it will really set it in a good foundation. That takeaway is almost another fundamental in my mind, and if we can get that right, we can continue to get the golf swing right going ahead from there. So guys, if you found this helpful, please press that like button. It really helps my channel out a ton. And as well, if you want this nice, easy to understand golf instruction where there could be nice drills we can do that are really going to change your game dramatically, then please subscribe. This is the place to get it. JChownGolf here. I always really want to make sure I'm making things nice and simple for you guys to understand, that you can immediately take onto the golf course and be able to play better golf for it. So if you've got takeaway problems, guys, your first move off the golf balls there, do the drill like Rickie and you'll be hitting the ball way better for it.